now let's start talking about the second game. Now, the second game against Humboldt State, St. John's handled them. It was 106-39.
Oh, boy.
Now, Humboldt State, of course, I never heard of them before. No disrespect to Humboldt State. I just, never. They didn't try to recruit me.
You
so
never
I've never heard of them.
Lumberjacks? You told me you never heard of the Lumberjacks?
I have not. They're from Northern California, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you never heard of the Lumberjacks?
It seemed to slip my mind. I applied for all schools all over the place. Just Lumberjacks weren't one of them.
So St. John's fans, humble yourselves, because Humboldt State is not really a school to write home about. That we won 106-39. I was surprised to see they were even a Division II team, but I was also embarrassed as a St. John student to see their fans in Carneseca, their fans all the way from Northern California in Carneseca, rooting on Humboldt State, even knowing they were going to lose. Even towards the end of the game, they were still chanting. But it takes a lot for our fans to even go to Syracuse. It doesn't make sense.
I understand what you're saying. You make a great point. I think there's something to be said about that. But who doesn't say that those aren't alumni who came from the East Coast? We don't know that.
Yeah, we don't know.
And also, too, as a student population, let's just put in perspective that when we've had opportunities to go to like the NCAA tournament and have our representative out there on the West Coast, when our guys back in 2010 played in the NCAA tournament, we went out there and supported, even though we lost in the first round against Gonzaga. There was still the BYU matchup and of that variety. So I think that could be a wake-up call, actually, for our Red Storm fans. But I think that there's new life in the fan base where this is very much relevant, and we're excited for the upcoming season. I'm excited I got season tickets. I got to go pick those up.
Yeah, and also you're interning, so you got a lot of things to look forward to.
It's a joy. I love working down there, watching the game from that angle. It's really stellar.
But yeah, it was a good game to watch. I mean, it was mainly execution. To see the second game, like we said before, God's Gift, who is always a fan favorite. God's Gift's always a fan favorite. He went off, and he went off pretty well. It was good to see him do that well. Like Mike said, I don't expect him to do that year in and year out, but he just did really well, and it was good to see.
Well, now welcome onto the program a good friend of Cover 3 in WSJU, an alumni, former St. John's basketball player, analyst, and color commentator for ESPN3, Mr. Tarik Turner. Tarik, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. Is this Mike?
Yeah, this is Mike. How you doing,
What's going
Tarik?
on, Mike? How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Good. You're an early riser. Thanks for being with us. Tarik, from these first two preseason games, what's your early report card on the Red Storm?
Well, I think you see the athleticism, you see the depth, you see the talent is right there in front of you, so you can't deny how deep they are. They're still coming together. I think they have a chance to be one of, if not the top team in the Big East, just because they're so deep. They're pretty much deep at every position. Two guys can play at each position. So Lav has a lot of options, a lot of different rotations he can use, and you're starting to see that. I think we saw that in the two exhibitions. He played a lot of different lineups. I think Rashid Jordan is going to be special. You can kind of see what kind of poise he has as a freshman. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. Special talent. And then, the depth up front with Sampson, Sanchez, Gift, who looks great. Obek for when he gets back. It's going to be a nice front line in terms of size and length. And defensively, I think the team should be really good.
Hey, Tarik, you mentioned Rashid Jordan was going to be special. Oh, can you break down how the newcomers, Rashid Jordan or Orlando Sanchez, affected St. John's and how they give them more areas, more versatility to do on offense?
Yeah, I mean, last year St. John's was one of the worst field goal percentage teams in the league, and a lot of times they just didn't have anyone that could create and make plays for other teammates. And I think Jordan, with his size at 6'4", point guard, will make the game easier for his teammates because he's a guy that likes to pass and make guys look better. And he can also score the ball. Out of high school, he was top 3-point guard in the country, as you guys know. And, he gets to the basket whenever he wants. He usually makes the right decision. Good mid-range game. He's a scoring point guard, but he has the balance between making guys better by passing and also scoring the ball. So that's a look that St. John's didn't have last year. Combined with his defensive ability, he's a very good defender at 6'4". He can pressure the ball and cause turnovers. So in the backcourt, he gives you another dimension with his size and his talent. His ability to get to the basket is something that is going to make things easier, I think, for the team offensively. And then Sanchez is just a really skilled guy. He's 6'9", can play inside and out, can rebound, he can handle it, he can pass, he can score, he can step out and shoot the three. I think overall talent, Sanchez is the most skilled big man on the team, and that's something that St. John's didn't have last year either. His versatility, and he's a guy that can do a lot on the court, and I think that's going to be an added dimension to the team offensively, particularly with the way he can stretch the floor with his ability to shoot the three and also post up.
As you mentioned, shooting the three, that was also one of our huge weaknesses last season. How do you feel Max Hooper can play shooting 4 threes against Humboldt State? How do you feel like he will stretch the floor out for the other players such as D'Angelo Harrison and Rasheed Jordan?
Well, Max is a specialty guy. I mean, they brought him in to be a shooter. I mean, he's a guy who you kind of look at as like a zone buster type of guy, especially with St. John's probably seeing a lot of zone. He can shoot the ball. He's a gym rat. He's always in the gym working on his shot. He loves the game. He has good size. He's about 6'6", 6'7", and he's a guy who they expect to make shots. And he makes a difference because that was one of the weaknesses last year, three-point shooting. St. John's is last in the Big East, and to have a guy that can spread the floor and knock down shots will make it easier for them offensively because then they won't be as predictable. And I think St. John's is going to see a lot of zone defense, so you need a guy like Max to keep you honest and be able to knock down those long shots.
Again, you're listening to Tarik Turner on Cover 3. Tarik, it's James. It was nice to see these 2 exhibition games and how St. John's managed to win them, but now they're facing a top 20 Badgers team in, I guess technically it's a neutral site at the Pentagon in Sioux Falls, but let's face it, South Dakota, the Dakotas are closer to Wisconsin than here in New York, so I'm going to say it's more hostile territory. How do you think, what do you think we'll see coming from St. John's as they face this tough Wisconsin team?
I think they're going to play up for it. I think they realize how important it is to get off to a good start. You're right, it is not a typical neutral site. I don't think that will affect them as much just because this is an experienced group. Juniors and seniors primarily with only one freshman. So they've gone on the road. They know what that takes. And Coach Lav and the staff, I think, will do a good job of preparing them with the right mindset to be mentally tough on the road. There's a few things you have to do well on the road, and that's, defensively, you can't have breakdowns. You can't turn the ball over. Those are the 2 things that you have to really focus on, especially when you're on the road. But I think they'll be ready. I mean, you never really know what to expect, at the beginning of the year because it's the start. But I think they realize the opportunity, the chance to knock off a top 25 team, and really, kind of start off with some momentum. It would be great to see these young guys come into Sioux Falls and get that one and start off the season right.
Tarik, we'll let you off on this here on Cover 3. What is your expectation, and what do you think this team is capable of?
Well, I think they're definitely capable of a Sweet 16 run. I think that's a realistic thing, realistic goal. I think that I expect them to be a top 3 or 4 team in the conference, worst case. I think with their depth and their talent and the fact that these guys have played together for a few years, for the most part, and then the addition of Jordan Sanchez a gift, there's no reason why they can't win the league. I'm not saying they will, but I would expect them to be a top 3 or 4 team, worst case. And I expect them to go to the tournament, and I do think it's realistic that they can make a run in the tournament. I mean, there's a few things that have to happen. You have to get hot. You have to have a little luck on your side. You have to stay healthy. And if if they can do that, and Coach Lavin feels like this is a team that come late January, early February, they should be peaking. Hopefully, there's no reason why they can't make a run in the tournament. So we'll see. But I definitely feel like talent and depth-wise on paper, they have all the pieces to make a run in the tournament.
This has been Tarik Turner, alumnus, play-by-play man, and broadcast talent for SNY and ESPN. Tarik, it's always great to have you on. Keep listening to WSJU, my man.
Thanks a lot, and also mention Fox Sports. That's
get
another
FS1
role
in there,
that
right.
I have Big East coverage. So glad to join you guys, man. If you ever need anything, I'm here, and good luck with the show, and enjoy having it.
Always great working with you, Tarik. It's a blessing.
All right, fellas. Thanks.
Thanks a
Be
lot,
well.
Tarik.
Thank you.